What a very emotionally powerful episode. League of Legends Arcane Episode 2. I think I need to give it credit where credit's due. This was a 40-minute episode after we just had an hour-long one. A feat I see very few series complete themselves. Anyway, I'm going to go over like 3 main points because I can't really talk about everything. But yeah, we started off with what I like to call an alternative perspective. So, behind that door of the building that was getting robbed, the laboratory, there was a man and a woman behind it. And we get some backstory on this same man. It turns out that he was stuck in the winter cold with his mom. It was clearly a big storm, and out of nowhere, this mage comes and saves him. The mom was like collapsed in his arms. He takes him back to land using these magic blue crystals, which calls forward to the same ones that Jinx has. But this is where things get a little huge. It turns out the man is no other than Jace. And on top of that, the woman with him is Caitlyn. Really cool. Connections are being built. A lot of characters get introduced here, and I am all for it. Things go south for him though. He's there, the police are raiding his apartment or his home lab, whatever you want to call it, and they basically say, hey, we're gonna have to take you in. You have too much dangerous stuff. They're taking all of his like gadgets and everything around him because he's working with a lot of dangerous materials. As we got to see, it actually caused the explosion, which is technically his fault. They arrest him. He goes back to jail, and he's getting ready to go to this conference that basically tells you if he's going to get banished or permanent imprisonment. Before all that, Heimerdinger comes in, and I was just so excited, so happy to see Heimer. I mean, who doesn't like Heimerdinger? He has such funny catchphrases. He's just, yeah, he's an absolute Einstein. What can I say, man? He's got the W. Einstein Riz, and I love it. But anyway, he talks to Jace, and he's like, hey, if you quit it with this magic stuff, because he was researching magic, and it's clear as day what he wanted to do. He wanted to replicate it. Heimer basically says, this is too powerful stuff. Wrong person gets it. It bad. And he's like, just drop it. Maybe it'll get you off with a lesser sentence. Turns out he doesn't. They get in there, and surprisingly, Heimer kind of turns on him. Heimer's like, hey, no, this is bad. It is terrible. Stop it. But he does say, hey, we don't have to banish the boy from Pitover. We can keep him here. And staying he does. He gets took home with his mom. His mom actually comes in, which is pretty surprising. But hey, it's all good. On top of that plot line, this isn't my next talking point. It just connects over to it. This is where one of the people actually take interest in his work. And the connection is epic. So it turns out there's this one dude with a walking cane. He's kind of crippled. Not really, you know, I don't mean that in like a bad way. I don't know the word to call it. He's having some troubles. There we go. That's the best way to put it. He's having trouble walking around. And this is where we make another connection. It turns out the man that takes interest in this, not the boy, I was going to say the boy, in his work, it is Victor. So Jace and Victor are going to be working together, which means we all know what's going to happen. It's going to work. It's going to work. And they're both going to accomplish things. All for that. Really cool calling. There's a call forward. There's a call back. Just great. Next talking point. We go to the underground. Jinx as well as Vi are being chased down. And that is because the police are trying to find the culprit behind the robbery. They're continuously being chased down. And, excuse me, I don't know the father's name. I am sorry. I did some research and I found out some things. So it should be getting easier to tell you who the father is upcoming. Which I don't know if I'm excited or if I'm going to be upset. But, hey, it's something to look forward to. And I didn't try to spoil myself too much. But the father figure, basically later on in this episode, has this talk with Vi. We don't really know what they're talking about. They're outside by the bridge, and they're thinking things over. Yeah, the chase was really hard, and it's really hard, especially on Jinx. And Vi, as a big sister, is having to protect her more and more. And I think that's all it came down to, the decision made. And the decision was, if you go back a little bit, last episode, there was this calling thing that they were given. I'm referring to Father. And it's to call the police, that one lady. And it clearly gets used, which tells me that basically Vi turned herself in to do the time, save her sister as well as everyone else, showing that she is a great character. Fantastic. I feel like Vi deserves credit where credit's due here. She stood up for the family. On top of that, let's get to the very last thing. That was technically the ending I just talked about. I could have saved that for the last, but we had to go through it. We go back to the evil lab, and we have what I would like to call the evil mystery. The boy that robbed him, I'm referring to Jinx and Vi, he takes the serum, and he's supposed to unlock the evil inside him, whatever that means. So he's going to turn into a monster. What monster is it? We don't know. Are we going to see? Probably. Probably will. It's interesting. I feel bad for Jinx. I feel bad for Vi. And maybe we'll have a time skip here. I don't know. But, hey, really awesome episode. Let's get straight to the rating. I'm going to say a 9. I'm going to say this is a 9. If they can pull this off back to back, it is great. Fantastic. Fantastic, matter of fact. Feels like an episode 1 on an episode 2, which is a great sign. Usually the 2 is where they have a hard time. Number 1s are meant to bring you in. Number 2s are for continuation. Really hard to replicate. Anyway, let's get to the question of the day is, how do you feel about Vi getting arrested? Do you think that she did it herself, or do you think someone betrayed her? We shall see, guys. Stay safe. Until next time, peace out, guys.